Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 159 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor and Damon. What's up, guys?
We just had like a whole 20-minute discussion before we started the show. I think the longest discussion we've had in a long time. I feel like that should be Patreon stuff. I don't know.
Well, I mean, some of it probably could be.
Some of it. We talked about frames. We talked about frames for posters for like a good 15 minutes.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
it was very exciting, and yeah, you know, I'm honestly a little hyped about, you know, figuring out. So yeah, we were talking about artwork and you know, getting some new stuff done. So yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah, and I was explaining how I had gotten Charles had done some editing of some pictures for me, and I ended up using Artbeat Studios and did the metal stuff instead of the canvas, and like it came out ridiculously good. So that was definitely pretty neat. Well,
and we were talking about the meetup too, you know, a little bit of planning for the meetup.
Yeah, we were also talking about next year. So while the cups were great, and I love using mine, would we do a bag or would we do a piece of artwork like a Thomas Kincaid or something next year? All thoughts.
You know, You were talking about what the next shirt was going to be, not recently, but like, I mean, not just in the past 20 minutes, but I was thinking to myself how funny it would be to have cartoon versions of us in the Jeopardy scene from Universe of Energy. But, you know, then you can't have stupid Judy, though. Then you miss out on that. But
hold on. You just touched on something, Tom, because I was suggesting, like, you know, keeping with the haunted river country theme, like haunted Ellen's Energy Adventure.
That's where I got the idea. You were talking about haunted and so I was thinking,
but I didn't think about the Jeopardy scene specifically. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Pre-show, do the pre-show.
Wait, hold on. I can be the host then, and then we can still fit everyone in.
Yeah, because you got
see.
Yeah, that's fine. You could do that. Yeah, you could be Alex Trebek, I guess. Yeah.
No, I'm the new dude. What's his name again?
Wait,
the new host.
No, it's
of Jeopardy.
Yeah.
You mean Ken Jennings for
Yes,
the
I
moment?
would be Ken Jennings,
Yeah.
I think he's going to stay. He's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
I thought that they were getting that the physicist from Big Bang Theory was going to do it.
No.
She does some of them.
Yeah.
She does like the special event ones. But yeah, I actually watch Jeopardy every night. My wife, that's a thing my wife and I do. We always watch Jeopardy. So
I've been watching it recently because of the streak that what's her name is on.
Amy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I actually, I don't think I ever told you guys this, that I actually applied for Jeopardy months ago because I was bored and I wanted to see how difficult it was. The test is really hard, man. It's not easy.
I would assume it would be.
You know, the answers aren't hard. It's just that they give you 10 seconds to read the question and then type out the answer. Like, so you have 10 seconds and it's like 50 questions and it's one after the other, 10 seconds. It's hard.
Here's the thing with Jeopardy. If you're on Jeopardy and you like get negative 1,200, like some of these people, like I'm never going to let you forget about it. Like, I don't know if you want to do that. Like, I feel like
I were to go on Jeopardy. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, it would be every show I'd talk about that. Remember when Tom had negative 1,200 on Jeopardy?
Yeah. I don't know if your opinion matters. You got negative 1,200 on Jeopardy.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I see a Jeopardy episode where the person doesn't make it into Final Jeopardy because they have negative dollars, I'm just like, yeah, that'd be me. That would definitely be me. But no, that's what I was thinking for the shirt. How great would it be to do the pre-show scene from Universe of Energy and some fun way to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Could have a reference to the old house phone that she has in it, you know, some of the outdated stuff that was still in there.
That wouldn't be bad.
Should that house phone with the really long antenna on it, you know?
So everyone listening, you're literally getting, this is what the pre-show talk sounds like. Just so you know, like we're actually like legitimately planning something right now as we're doing this.
Well, the funny thing is, like, if we put the pre-show stuff out on the Patreon, the pre-show sounds pretty much exactly like the regular show, right? Like, we talk
true.
Pretty much the same. There's a lot more cursing in the pre-show, but
we do get some business stuff taken care of as well.
Yeah, there's business stuff. Yes, there is some things. As we've grown as a show, things get slightly more complicated, but not really. I mean, still fairly simple. But there's some business involved now these days. So
yeah,
it's funny because I always joke. I always say as the CEO of Welcome Home, and it's like, but I kind of technically am.
Yeah.
But I always mean it as a joke because you guys know it's like never
it's
just
decision. How it worked out.
Yeah, it's just how it worked out.
Yeah,
but I always just think it's funny to say that. But someone was saying that the shirt should be Damon. It should be the giveaway at the meetup should be signed headshots of Damon. That's what.
Yes, I always feel like though, right? If you're the CEO, I was kind of look at it like a movie. Like you can be the producer and that's cool. I still want to be the action hero at the end of the day.
That's fine. Yeah. I don't really want to be the CEO. That was it just kind of happened that way. It was an accident.
Yeah. We got listener questions. All right, come on.
Yeah. Let's get into this.
All right. So Chris says, well, I want to do this. Well, all right, I'll do the first one. Chris says, with the big increase in resale value, have any of you thought of selling contracts to use that money to buy more at a different resort? Are you happy where you are? More directed to Tom and Damon because Trevor is a Polly fanboy. Okay.
That's not what it says, but I mean, you summarized it pretty well. Yeah.
You can say that. I don't care.
Sure.
For me, no, because I like Saratoga. It doesn't really matter to me. Again, for me, it doesn't really matter where I'm at because I see myself going to Barrow and Hilton Head for the next probably, we were talking about this actually, I think yesterday in the family, probably to 2023. I think that's when maybe we'll go back to the parks. I don't see us going back to the parks before 2023. So no, I don't think so. I mean, I have Saratoga, which I think is great because it's big. And then I have Riviera for some unknown reason. I don't even remember why. This was, I don't know, feeling like I should buy something that day. I don't know. But I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, go ahead. Sorry, Trevor.
I was going to say, truth be told, even if you're going to Vero and Hilton Head, you're still better off owning at Saratoga just because of the dues.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So for me, it's like I have thought about selling one of my contracts only because of the hassle of the separate use year that has been introduced there. So if I were going to sell one, I would probably just end up buying another one with those proceeds to match my current use year. Well, to match the use year that my other two contracts are in. So that's probably the only reason I'd sell. It's not necessarily looking at it as a, hey, I could make some money off it right now kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just inherently lazy about things. And that just seems like too much work in general, right? Like, I just wouldn't do it because I don't see a huge benefit for me. And I would just buy, if I really wanted to be somewhere else, I'd just buy more points. Like, at the end of the day, as it was funny, like we were kind of chit-chatting about this with my oldest, like, he's going to college, pretty, looking at that clock, I would assume that, it's probably maybe 10-ish years before he's married with kids, right? If everything goes accordingly, right? I'm just going to be using those points then. So if I had to buy more, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be taking more people. So that's what I'll end up doing.
And to your point about, it's not worth messing around with. Like, I think, the reason that all of us bought into this is because DVC is like, hey, you're kind of locking in, the next 20, 30 years without having to think about it. So, why would you want to keep going back and forth and keep messing with it?
Yeah, not me.
Yeah. And to the point, yes, I'm not leaving Polly anytime soon, but similar to Damon, and I said this, I actually replied to this on Facebook, is that, we are going through the same phases in our life that Damon is, but we're about 5 years behind you. So, we're not at that point yet where, our son's, graduating school or, that kind of stuff is changing. We may be having the same conversation in 5 years, but I mean, we also could just say, now we'll just keep going to the Poly, but it's not off the table is the point.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like, once the kids get, again, right, we talk about currently our kids are all in school, right? So most of our vacationing is either done in the summer or at a very high, unfortunately, a busy time. But once those kids get old enough that they're done with school and then they have jobs, while yes, they have less time because, you know, how much vacation do you get? You also have the ability to schedule that at any point now, right? Like you can go September, October, May, it doesn't matter anymore. And I think that that will be something that we'll end up doing as well. I kind of envision this needing more points because even as the kids get older, they're going to start bringing somebody with them, right? Like be that a girlfriend or a friend or whatever. And I think that then you also need those more points. We were talking about this actually when we go to Vero because, you know, my son's 18, you know, he's still in high school, but, you know, he's got a girlfriend. And I was like, you know, I don't care if she comes. I mean, she's obviously going to sleep with in my daughter's room. We would just have that 2-bedroom. The boys would have to end up sleeping on the pullouts and stuff like that. But there's more than enough room. Like she wants to come and her parents don't care. Like I don't really care. So I think you just start adding people to that whole sort of party that you go with, even if they're not married at some point, right? So you need those extra points.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going with somebody though that had never been to Disney. Like I think that would be too much effort for me.
Well, speaking of effort, I had those reservations that were out there at rental store. And I just the second one, the reservation was actually coming up, right? So, and it hadn't been rented out yet. So it's the 31st to the 1st of February, right? It's just a one night.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh man, this thing hasn't been rented out yet. Should I do something? And sure enough, like I just like yesterday, somebody else rented it, but I had to laugh because both of the separate rentals were both from people from New Jersey, and I was like, that's. I was like, all right, well, that's cool. That's random, but yeah. So that was, you know what though, effort though. That's why I was saying this is that it was super, super easy. I mean, I really just had to like sign a paper and then I was done. I mean,
there's a teeny bit of not stress per se, but stress, like you said about, the date's coming up. Like there is a little bit of that, in the process, just and built in. It has nothing to do with, you know, it's just the way it works, right?
Yeah, it is.
So there is a little bit of that you have to kind of factor in.
I'll feel better about mine once I get back the form that I'm waiting for, that I can actually rent my points. And I think that's, I know what you guys are talking about is, you know, the clock's ticking on it and you want to get things rented out, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you though, like I had 30 points, right? So there was 30 points that were just going to drift off into the ether, right? And I mean, renting them out, I ended up with like $500. So I was like, can't complain about that, man.
Nope, definitely not, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, those were just going to disappear and mean nothing to me. So, so might as well use it. But anyway, you want to read this next one?
I do. This one, I just want to read this one too. This is from Dan. Dan H, I guess we have to say.
Yeah, after we had the Dan mix up last time. Yeah.
So if I'm Disney, why wouldn't I just sell Figment corn buckets online through the end of the Arts Festival? Nothing is stopping them from doing this. They control the manufacturing of them. Okay, so here's the thing, though. One of the funniest things I saw all week is the Figment bucket at Universal at the Shrek thing with Donkey talking smack about it. Have you guys seen this?
No, I
saw this.
It's so funny. It's so funny. So for anyone that hasn't seen it, go out and watch it. It's all over either TikTok, Facebook. You can watch it anywhere, but it's a lady brings a Figment bucket to the little thing where Donkey talks smack, and it's really funny. Okay, so why wouldn't Disney sell Figment? Because they don't care. I don't understand like how people don't understand this. Is that they're in a room going, all right, you know what? We're doing Figment popcorn buckets. All right, how many should we order? I don't know. Let's just order 10,000. And that is the end of their thought process, man. That is it. It's over and done with. Like, it doesn't matter to them. They're not going to make enough money off of them to double them up. They're not going to make enough money to order 10 times as much. It doesn't matter. It's something that they do. It's like when you're running a business and something just works this way, that's what they do. They put them out, they're limited, and then that's the end of the discussion.
And it doesn't the mere fact of them being limited make them more people want to get them more, right? Like if they were,
but it doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying if they were available as much, they wouldn't be as popular, probably, right? This is the whole idea of limited edition is to have limited amounts, right? So,
exactly. And what does it matter to them either way? I don't think that it changes any meter or any sort of thing if there was 10,000 versus 100,000, that doesn't matter.
I read somewhere that they had 40,000 of them. And I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I saw somebody asked the cast member, and the cast member said they made 40,000.
The difference between 40,000 and 100,000 is still irrelevant, I feel like.
Yeah.
Based on the lineups and everything, absolutely. The other thing to keep in mind too is that, every time these limited edition things come out, they still have a life cycle on them that people forget about. And I've seen this with every other popcorn bucket, is that they come out and they're like, oh, this is limited edition. You can only get it this time. But, for the Festival of the Arts, it runs the entire time of Festival of the Arts. Right now, they're sold out. More will come in, but then by the time they do come in, the hype's died down on it, or people have forgotten because, the first set was gone. And you still end up finding them. For previous limited edition popcorn buckets, I remember there was one of the Christmas ones. It was the tree. It was the same thing. They're like, oh, they're selling out, and you can't find them in Magic Kingdom. We happened to be in Disney Springs, and they were selling them at the popcorn booth at Disney Springs. And we were, and this was later on, like a month later from when they started selling them. And it's just people forget, and they're still available. The other thing too is that popcorn buckets are a reason for people to go to the parks. Like if you think about it, they're not just selling a popcorn bucket. It's also, I know a lot of people going are annual pass holders, and maybe that doesn't, or it does kind of factor in because, people, it's not that people are buying annual passes for popcorn buckets, but they're buying it because they can go for these limited edition things. But it's also, they're getting people in the parks, and there's a very limited subset that are just going and buying the bucket and leaving.
Yeah.
So it's the bucket is great and all that, but there's far more to it than just, if they sold the buckets online, to your point, Damon, it wouldn't make a difference.
No.
I have a couple different thoughts about this. So one, this is just for Festival of the Arts, and Festival of the Arts is a fairly short festival, right? They, why they wouldn't make a ton of these, right? Just because that festival is going to end, and maybe they have some left over, I guess. But why would they make an absolute ton of them if it's just for the Festival of the Arts? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was watching Shark Tank, and they were talking about on Shark Tank, they were talking about a bathing suit line, right? And they're saying it's inventory is the killer of that. Totally the same thing here. Like you're saying, you don't want to be left with popcorn buckets.
Exactly.
That's the worst thing that can happen.
Well, and the thing about it was, right, so it was an 8-hour line the first day, but then the next day it was maybe a couple hour line, and then the day after it was maybe an hour, and then towards the end of the stock of them, I don't think there was much of a line at all from what I'd seen. So, the hype dies down pretty quickly, right? But I mean, I think my third thing on this though is, you say nothing is stopping them from doing this. I do think that there are constraints here, right? I mean, Disney and other companies are just having a hard time keeping basic things in stock right now, right? So just look at the lightsabers, for example. They don't have the cases for the lightsabers. They didn't have the cardboard boxes for the droids. Supply chain is tough right now. And so yes, there is something that's stopping them from doing it,
I don't know about that, because you're talking about ordering a container, right? And I just don't think that 40,000 Figments is taking up a full container regardless. I don't necessarily know if that's a constraint, because they could have ordered 100,000, and I don't know if that would have changed the way the container came over. You kind of know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying it's not like there are some constraints out there right now. I mean, Disney's closed. So there's some Disney World shops that have been closed, completely closed, simply because they don't have stuff to sell. They just literally don't have things coming in. So I mean, it's a challenge right now that's going on, and so I do think that could be part of it too. That they did order 100,000 of them, and they only got 40,000. They only were able to get that many in time. Who knows?
Possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anything else on Figment?
Yeah. I did want to say something about Universal though, real quick. So I don't know if anyone saw, but again, because my daughter just, finished Harry Potter now. I don't think now Hunger Games. Now she's reading Maze Runner. But anyway, it was really cool to see that over in Beijing, China, that there was snow in Harry Potter land, and it looked like the movies. so much more than obviously the Florida or California who don't get snow. It was just such a neat picture to look at. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, go check out that picture. It's from Beijing, China, the park there. And it's Harry Potter with snow. It's really neat.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Because you're not getting that in Florida, right? You're not getting that in California. So it was just something a little different.
Unless you get the soap snow. But yeah,
it's
not the same.
It was pretty cool.
The soap snow is not the same. Yeah, Damon and I got snow just yesterday. And so which is a bit of a rarity for here. I think actually the last
6 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 6 years ago. Yeah.
It was funny because it came up, it was the same week and it came up on my Facebook feed. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
Well, yeah. Well, the amazing thing, though, Trevor, is like, so it snowed overnight and it was maybe like 2 inches and it was gone by like 1 o'clock that afternoon, like completely gone.
I still have snow here. I still have a fair amount of snow.
Oh, really? See, most of ours is gone. I mean, there's still some on like people's roofs and stuff like that. But like,
no. We still have like snow in my front yard snow.
Oh, yeah, no, ours is all gone. Ours is totally melted. And it's not like Damon and I live far from each other. It's like a couple hours. I mean.
Yeah, I just think that my neighborhood's pretty wooded.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that probably kept a lot of the snow based on that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's definitely why. Yeah. So anyway.
I'm gonna be out in Tom's area next weekend.
Yeah. I think we're gonna go get some food, right? We're gonna go to go to Optimus Hall again.
Yes, definitely Optimus Hall. Wait, where's Chris? Is Chris coming again?
I don't know. We gotta see. You gotta ask it. He's on the Discord now, so we can ask him.
Okay. Yeah.
He said it's like his favorite place now. He said he and his wife go there all the time now. So
I think we could definitely get him there then.
Yeah, we could. He's cool. Sorry, Trevor. I feel bad that you're like left out of this.
No. You guys finish. I'll just be over here doing
crying.
I'll be over here in Canada.
Yeah, just be here 2 hours in the past with your time zone. You know. Anyway,
the next question. I'm going to do all the questions.
All right. Do all the questions today. All right.
So, do you guys think that they will do anything for Epcot's 40th anniversary this year? Or do you think it goes by the wayside due to the focus on MK's 50th? There's no way it goes by the wayside because that's just not Disney. I mean, I think they'll definitely do something. Will it be as big as if it was a year that there wasn't Magic Kingdom's 50th? No, but they've always been like that, right? Like you're always 10 years behind. So, I think that we're going to get, Epcot's my favorite park. So for me, like, I hope there's like cool stuff because I'm all about that.
I kind of thought all the, sorry, go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think again, it's just a matter of timing and, that they're still pushing the 50th, but I'm sure that, just like we saw with the 50th last year, like it was leading up to October 1st was when everything happened. So same thing for Epcot is that you won't see anything until closer to, and they'll spread it out. There's no way that they're not going to, what it's going to turn into is that instead of just having a year of Magic Kingdom, they're just going to transition right into the Epcot 40th. So, it just keeps it going, right? Like they'll just keep their celebration stuff going, but it just changes parks.
I think I'm way more hyped for Epcot's 50th than, like, if I have to go to Magic Kingdom's 50th versus Epcot's 50th, it's Epcot's 50th, not even a question.
Yeah, sure. I get that.
I'm all about Epcot, even though they're going to ruin it with the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
That's going to ruin the whole park for you?
Going to ruin the whole park pretty much, yeah.
The entire thing?
The whole thing.
Wow.
The whole thing. It just doesn't fit. All right. All right, so Damon and Trevor. I guess we're just leaving out Tom here.
Yeah, I don't have teens, so
yeah. Any advice on? Well, this is preteens too. Any advice on how preteens do a Disney trip? My nieces are 10 and 11 and haven't done a family trip in 5 years. I'm not sure what cool is at that age, and I have to maintain my cool uncle status. This is from Jeff. So, I mean, my daughter's 11, so she fits right in there. I mean, I don't know like what changes from that. I think there's this rather large window of right outside of toys, which again is differentiated by the person, not necessarily by age, to them being teenagers. I think it's kind of the same, like that whole preteen teen. If they're out of that kind of that toy scenario, right? It's kind of all the same to me. So I don't know. I mean, shopping is usually a good thing. I think that there's what I think is really cool at that age is subtle Disney clothes are really cool for them, right? I mean, that was kind of my daughter's thing as well, like subtle Disney stuff, Disney jewelry that's subtle as well, super big. But in terms of, the park, I felt like, I don't think anything in the park changed at that level. It kind of did what we did, but it was just a little bit of the difference of eating, right? Like try to find places that were a little bit more, not what they're used to in terms of food, right? I think that was always fun. I think my daughter always had fun trying different things in terms of food, which was always great. And then, like I said, the subtleness of the clothing and the jewelry and the bracelets, all of that kind of worked well. And again, she's a Lego person, so the Lego place was also kind of cool, but that's a little bit overrun with younger kids. So I don't know. I just think that the coolest thing you could do for them is going to be to buy them something subtle Disney that they would probably wear all the time. I don't know. That's kind of my thought.
I kind of agree with you there, Damon. Like for our son, the last trip we went on, he found a hoodie that he really liked and he wore it for like a year straight because it was a Disney hoodie, but it was, it was different enough and fit his style and all that. So yeah, definitely there's a lot to be said for, exploring outside of the typical, Mickey Mouse or like you said, the younger kids stuff. The other thing too, or I guess the thing that changed for us on the last trip was, previous trips, it was very much, or I guess, as, the adults, we were kind of leading him around. Whereas on the last trip, it was more, we were actually starting to have conversations about, what he liked, what he didn't like, and all that. We still, I think we still end up doing pretty much like ride wise and shows and everything. It didn't change a lot of that, but we kind of gave him a little bit more control over when and how things went down.
I think that a little bit easier with one kid.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. Multiple. I mean, you have to factor that in too.
But I would agree. Like that whole preteen is like, they think they're way older than they are, right?
Yeah.
They actually start to, they haven't realized like how hard life is yet, right? They start to get that when they're teenagers, but like that preteen is, but they want to kind of act older. So that's why, like I said, I think that jewelry, subtle clothing sort of stuff works really well. And I like that experimentation of food because that's something that makes them feel kind of adultish, but it's not necessarily adultish. I don't know.
I think the other thing to keep in mind, so Jeff says here that he wants to keep the cool uncle status. I guess again something that worked for me with my son was you have to, they'll kind of follow your lead as well on like if you say, well, no, I'm not going on that, I'm not going to go on Small World. That's a kiddie ride. Like if you frame things in such a way that you wouldn't do it or you make it embarrassing for them, especially at that preteen age, you'll find really quickly that they don't want to do anything that you want to do. So I guess part of it is keeping the cool uncle status is you have to kind of let yourself go too. And if honestly, if you just act like a big kid there, they'll probably just get on board with it and go with whatever you're doing. And if you're cooler than their parents, like, if you're the fun one, they'll absolutely just follow you around.
Yeah. And again, it's about that differentiating experiences, right? Something that they wouldn't necessarily do at home. So
yeah, keep them in the conversation for sure.
Yep. All right, Tom, you have any thoughts or are we just going to go to the next question?
I agree with everything you all said.
Perfect. All right. All right. So this is from the other Chris. What is your Disney or Disney adjacent guilty pleasure? My choice, Thunder in Paradise, Hulk Hogan starring as a Navy SEAL based in front of the Grand Floridian. Sadly, Hulk didn't wear a monocle. It was delightfully awful, and I loved every bit of it. I wish they would run that on Disney+. Whew, guilty pleasure for Disney? I don't know. I watch all the teenage shows, so like just in general, like maybe like that's just my thing. Like, and I watch cartoons like crazy, so I don't necessarily know if I would consider them guilty pleasures per se. But I mean, I guess being an adult watching cartoons still, and being an adult watching the show like Big Shot. I love Big Shot. Like that's such a great show, right? Like the Mighty Ducks. Like I will watch all of that stuff. So
I don't think it's like not. I don't think it's I don't know. I don't think it's frowned upon anymore as an adult to watch cartoons because of like you have the proliferation of like adult cartoons and
I mean, I guess so. But I guess if I was to go to a conversation with a bunch of adults, I wouldn't be like, yeah, so I was watching, the Mighty Duck series, and let me tell you something. Like, I don't necessarily know if I would do that. But I watch that with my daughter. Like, we watch all those series, like, or even Secrets of Sulphur Springs. Like, we're watching that, which, by the way, is they for some crazy reason they decided to drop all the episodes at once for the whole season.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
what show was that?
Excuse me.
What show was that?
Secrets of Sulphur Springs.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And it seems like there's going to be a season 3, but that's a very Disney thing to do, is run 3 seasons in general. I just hope it doesn't get canceled because, again, they cliffhanger it. I hate when that happens in these shows. You're going to cliffhanger something and then not finish it. Like, I still have very, very bad, withdrawal from the Netflix show that did that to me, where all the teenagers were in the town and all the adults disappeared. I don't remember. Was it called Society? I don't know, but it was like really upsetting because, the authors, it wasn't based on a book, right? So I couldn't go back and figure out what happened. And the the producer was still trying to sell it, and they never did. And they didn't talk about it. It was just very upsetting. So anyway.
Damon has some trauma about.
I have some trauma. I hate when that happens. Like, again, if it's book based, that's fine, right? Because I'm okay with that. But Secrets of Sulphur Springs, like, if they don't tell me like what's really going on, like, it's like, could keep me awake one night. Like, I hate that. Like, whatever happened with that show? No, I don't like
that. So what about you, Tom? What do you
pleasure?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'll first of all, I want to talk about Chris's guilty pleasure, Thunder in Paradise. I vaguely remember Thunder in Paradise. Do you guys remember Thunder in Paradise?
No, not at all.
No.
I actually sent a link. I sent a link of all the Disney places in this show and to you guys. But I vaguely remember this, and I don't remember what happened in it, but I remember Hulk having this series. But anyway, I think probably mine is around like, I like watching all of the really old, like the really old footage of like the parks and like those little documentaries around the parks on Disney Plus. Like, I don't know, I'm sure some people find that stuff weird, but like I just find that stuff immensely interesting. You know what I mean? Like, there's one that's called I think it's like Seasons in Disneyland or something like that, and it's like, black and white, like just kind of like showing some of the old stuff at Disneyland and like some of the different things that they did throughout the seasons. And it was kind of fascinating to me. I'm sure most people have not dug that deep into Disney Plus because it's not exactly something that they were like advertising, but it's like one of those things that they obviously had in the archive, and they were like, let's throw this on there. But I mean, like, there's some cool stuff in there. Like, if you watch like one of the old parades at Disneyland, like there was some stuff they did in the parades that was really kind of cool, like with special effects and just stuff that was interesting. And just kind of seeing like how people dressed when they went to the to Disneyland back in like the 60s, and like full suits and like really like fancy clothes. Like, it's interesting to see the difference then to now. So yeah, I don't know if that's is considered a guilty pleasure, but it's definitely a thing I feel like not a lot of people watch. Right.
Yeah, I think mine kind of sits in between both of yours in that sense. Like, it's, I do what you do, Tom, where, I'll occasionally, go digging for shows or like looking for stuff on YouTube and articles and all that kind of stuff. And so there's that. But then also on the other side is occasion. And the thing is like I know for you, Damon, like you're always, it seems like you're always watching like the next Disney show or like Disney cartoons and stuff like that. I kind of go through phases with it where I won't do it for a while, and then it's like I have to go back and watch like a bunch of old shows that like the Buzz Lightyear animated show, or like some of those weird ones that I guess people didn't necessarily talk about a lot, and even when they were out, like my kid wasn't watching them. It wasn't that I'm watching them because he, it's like, oh, this was my kid's favorite. It's just,
I agree.
Yeah, it's just something that I'm like, hey, this was a fun show. They there wasn't any reason that I should have been watching it at the time, but you just kind of find it and go with it. Right. So yeah, I do that. And then, I mean, I guess it's hard because, when you say Disney guilty pleasures, I mean, honestly, even like this podcast is a guilty pleasure as far as I'm concerned, because, when I talk with my coworkers and my friends and stuff, they don't know Disney. They don't get Disney. They don't have these conversations. So to me, this is kind of that thing or that outlet where, I can go and talk about this stuff with people that get it.
Yeah, that's actually interesting, calling the pod, because I kind of agree with you in a weird way that the podcast is my guilty pleasure, because it's not something I advertise to people in my regular life. Like, it's not something I go around talking about. Every once in a while, somebody accidentally finds out about it and they either find it cool or weird, depending, So, but it's in a weird way. I hadn't really thought about that, Trevor, but this is kind of my guilty pleasure, because it's, we know that we live in the interest that we have in this is not always looked upon well by some members of society, right?
Oh, so everyone has their own opinions on it, and I and that's part of why I don't advertise it either. Is that I've had some people, where are you going on vacation? Disney World. Why are you going there? Right. And then it's all the, reasons why they hate it, which, I don't care. But
yeah, I kind of learned a long time ago to stop like being annoyed by that. Right. Like just being like, yeah, you know what? That's fine. My thing. You want to have your thing. You have your thing. I have my thing. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Like that's because I used to get annoyed by that. And I used to fight about it. And now I'm just like, okay, whatever. Cool. Enjoy. Do you want to go to the DVC news, the little piece of DVC news here, that DVC confirms that the EPCOT lounge will be available throughout 2022 now as well, which, I don't think we're surprised by, right?
We're like a month into 2022 and
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's year to year, right? So like everybody's just waiting for it to be the thing that gets chopped, right? So like I think people are just waiting for that, and then they don't always update the website, and so because the website will say like available through 2021, right? To the end of 2021, and then they don't update it, and everybody's like, "Oh, does that mean it's over? It's done?" And I mean, listen, they might close it at some point if they ever get around to redoing the Imagination Pavilion, which I have to assume at some point they will. Then we'll probably
let's talk about that. Then let's actually talk about that, because we talk about this every year, that the lounge is it's definitely not going anywhere. It is used. I think part of it is it's not like the lounge is ever empty, so why would they stop utilizing it at this point? But the bigger question is when will it go away, because of the fact that the Imagination Pavilion is getting an overhaul?
Yeah, I think that's the real question, because it probably doesn't cost them much to run that thing, right? I mean, at the end of the day, and it's a great benefit for members. Members really like it. I mean, I do wonder, eventually if they do refurb the Imagination Pavilion, if they, either move it to a different place in EPCOT, or they open a new lounge in one of the other parks, or, I don't know. But I want
a lounge in the Mexico Pavilion. That's what I want.
In the Mexico Pavilion. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a random one. Like,
I love the aesthetic in there. Like I love walking in there, and just how like it's always like that permanent evening. Like I don't know.
Yeah. But I love the Mexico Pavilion too, but it feels claustrophobic to me, because I feel like it's too small. You know what I mean?
Fair. But like I'm thinking if they put a lounge like up above, like so like you're looking down over the courtyard area there, I think that would be great.
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I think the problem is like they probably are going to want to use an existing space, right? Like they're not going to build a new space out, right? So I don't know. I think it'd be cool to have one. I think they could do it in EPCOT. I almost wonder if it'd be harder in Magic Kingdom, because I feel like it would need to be bigger. You know what I mean? Because I feel like more people. Well, because obviously Magic Kingdom is the most attended park in the world, right? So you're thinking you have to have more capacity there, and where do they have the space for that? I don't know. should build a DVC lounge right into Tron. Like that should be part of the building. Maybe that little 2-story building that they're building that nobody knows what it is. You know, that little.
Oh yeah, that would be neat.
Yeah, there you go. They're building a special lounge just for DVC members there that they haven't announced.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Trevor?
Yeah, it would be great if we actually got something in every park. So like you have a place where, you know, you can kind of, you know, when everyone else is like scrambling to get out of the rain or get out of the heat or whatever, you just have a place where you can go and sit down and relax, that, you know, you don't have to leave the park. I would love that. But yeah, you know, back to this news, you know, I think people, you know, everyone's waiting for this to happen. You know, like we've had it for a long time and everyone's like, oh, you know, they're going to take it away. They're going to take it away. And it also fits with the theme of, you know, a lot of things have been taken away in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
So I get people's pessimism about having the lounge. But like you said, it's probably pretty inconsequential to them for the amount of time and money it takes to run it, and it is seen as a good benefit. But yeah, until I'm waiting for you know, the Imagination Pavilion to get an overhaul similar to Splash Mountain. And actually to that point, like you know, if you're talking about when the stuff's going to happen, you know they've been talking about redoing Splash Mountain now for well over a year, and everyone's like, you know, it's happening now, right? And we're still years out before that happens. I can't see the Imagination Pavilion changing any time in the next couple of years because they do have a backlog of things that they want to do now at this point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think probably Imagination Pavilion. I mean, the fact that they haven't even announced anything for that, right? Like, there's all sorts of stuff that they've announced already for Epcot that they haven't even, like, I don't want to say started on, but there's still, you know, a significant amount of work to be done there. I mean, you know, you're talking about the whole middle of the park is still ripped up, right? I mean, they've got Creation Shop open, right? So that's done, right? But they still are working on the restaurant. They still need to do the Spaceship Earth overhaul, right? Because I don't think that was canceled. I think that was just put on hold. And then they're working on that Moana thing that they're doing, the water attraction thing that's being built, mm-hmm. right? So like, there's all that still needs, and plus, you know, the roller coaster, right? So I would think that all that stuff that's being worked on now is like phase 1, right? And then phase 2 is going to be maybe the play pavilion they're finally going to do, which I think they mentioned recently, like they mentioned it in plans recently. So that seems like it's not canceled, just maybe like,
yeah, it's coming. But again, it's still like, we're talking years before this stuff happens.
Yeah. Like phase 2 and 3 of the reimagining of Epcot, right? Like, so like they're still in phase maybe 1 or maybe even 2. I mean, because some of the stuff did open, right? So like I think Harmonious was part of that, and the stuff that they did to Spaceship Earth and the whole front section. I mean, Trevor, have you been since they got rid of the tombstones in the front of Epcot? Because it's been a while now since you've been able to go, right?
So those were gone in
was that 2019 probably?
Yeah. They were gone on our last trip. Like I think they had just been taken out like a month or two before we got there. So it, you know, to your point, it was still very much just a bunch of construction. Like it didn't look like anything.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they've got a lot. I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on at Epcot, and I mean, I think they're probably also going to wait until Guardians of the Galaxy opens to close Spaceship Earth, right? Because you're already talking about Epcot, which is a park, you know, this is not to criticize your favorite park, Damon, and I because it's one of my favorites too. It's, you know, a top one for me as well. You know, it doesn't have as many attractions as like a Magic Kingdom, right? And so when you go and close something like Spaceship Earth, you know, that's going to leave a pretty big gap. So I feel like at this point now, especially since it's going to be a very long refurbishment, I think, wasn't it a year and a half they were talking, because they're going to redo the whole thing. I think they're going to wait until Guardians is open and then maybe announce that they're going to close Spaceship Earth and start that work, you know? But yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. So I think Imagination is probably just like low on the list, right? Like,
mm-hmm. So to that end, the lounge, you know, it'll be around for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see going anywhere anytime soon. I'd love to see lounges in every park. I would, if they could make that happen. I think that would be, I think DVC members would be very happy with that. And I think you would hear a little less noise about the lack of perks at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
than you're hearing now. Cause obviously there is quite a bit of noise about, missing perks and such. But I think something like that would go a long way. I do wonder when we're going to see Moonlight Magic again and such.
Well, so here's the monkey's paw wish part of that is, if you asked for more lounges, would you be okay with the fact that other things like Moonlight Magic maybe couldn't happen anymore?
Yes. And I'll tell you why. Because the problem with Moonlight Magic to me, I love the idea of it, and I love that it happens, and I think they're really cool parties, and I think it's a really cool thing. But at the same time, most people go on vacation when they're able to go on vacation, right? Like most people don't get to pick, right? Because they have kids or they have jobs that restrict them from doing so. So like, unless your vacation just so happens to line up with one of them, then you don't get that benefit at all, right? But a lounge 24/7, not 24/7, 365, right? If it's open year round, you can get that benefit anytime you go, no matter what time of year it is, right? So for me, that's a fine trade-off. But
yeah, I agree, and yeah, I'm still a little salty because I twice had the opportunity to go to Moonlight Magic, and both times lost the opportunity.
You've really not had good luck with trips in the past couple of years.
Yeah,
it's just been...
but again, to that point is stuff like Moonlight Magic, because it is deliberately planned. It sucks when you're not able to get there for it and you miss it, right?
Yeah.
Versus, exactly. I guess if I knew that the lounge was always going to be there, and like I said, I like the idea of in every park, I have a place where I can just go and sit and relax and take a 20-minute breather, because it is a lot, when you're coming as far as we are, we try to get a lot done, so it's very exhausting.
Yeah,
just having that would be, I would definitely appreciate that and be willing to sacrifice Moonlight Magic for it. I'm waiting for this is going to become a point of contention in the the Facebook group. I think I feel like I just made somebody angry. I think so. I think somebody's going to come for me on that.
On not wanting Moonlight Magic and wanting lounges instead. Is that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that's that controversial of a take. I don't know. But I mean,
I don't know. I just have a feeling that somebody's getting mad at their whatever they're yelling at
somebody's yelling at their car or phone or however they're listening to us.
Yeah,
I do think it's funny when people post stuff like that where like I was yelling at my phone. Well, because like I also think it's funny because when we do this, I think when you come on, if you were to come on the show or if you were to do this regularly, you understand that sometimes like in the moment we just don't remember stuff, or we just say something in the moment that comes out wrong, or it's hard to talk and not make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. So there are times that kind of stuff just happens, and but then people yell at us. It's like, why aren't you remembering this one thing? It's like, I don't know, because there's lots. This is hard to do. So anyway, we should go ahead and do our ad. All right, so we're happy to welcome back our sponsors, and that would be Worlds of DVC, and they've been great partners to us over the years, and we're continuing our partnership. And actually, we've got some interesting stuff that we're going to do with them this year. So stay tuned for that. We're going to change things up a little bit, so that should be kind of fun over in the coming months here. So anyway, this week though is for DVC Resale Market. DVC Resale Market, a World of DVC company, is the leader in the DVC resale industry with 13 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 3 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere, with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days. In 2020, DVC Resale Market helped over 3,600 families join or add on to their memberships. Go to dvcresalemarket.com or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. That's 1-844-382-7767. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. All right. Welcome back to World of DVC.
Yep.
We had a very brief period of no ads. So
yeah, but excited to see what comes with this next year. So
yeah. For that, we are going to try some different things because we've been partners with them for a long time, and listen, we don't want our partnership with them to become white noise to you, right? Where you just tune it out. So we want to try to do some different stuff. So like I said, stay tuned. We'll see what happens coming up in the year here. So. All right. So I don't know if we lost Damon permanently or if he just is not interested in what we're talking about.
I'm just not interested in what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, you wanted to talk about the restaurant, right?
Well, yeah, but I was coming back. I was just waiting for the boring talk of the lounges to be done.
You don't care about the lounges, huh?
No, I think I've said 8,000 million times that the lounges are the best, and I could care less about Moonlight Magic. So I didn't think I had to say it a millionth and 2 times.
You do have to sometimes.
No, I tuned that out, man.
All right,
I'm good with 1,000,001 times.
All right, fair enough. All right, so we've got. This was already announced, right? So this is not really new news, but it's news in that. This is coming in 2020. So the previously announced Roundup Rodeo BBQ restaurant will be opening in 2022. They didn't even give us a season on this, so we don't even know really what season it's going to open. And I also want to remind everybody that Space 220 was supposed to open in, 2019? Winter 2019?
Yeah.
And just opened a few months ago. So let's all take this with a grain of salt, but they're saying 2022, so hopefully sometime this year. What's interesting reading this, though, so they say in this unique, fun, family-friendly dining experience, guests will enjoy delicious barbecue fare while surrounded by a kaleidoscope of toys, games, and playsets Andy has brought together to create his one-of-a-kind rodeo. Stepping into the lobby and waiting area, guests experience firsthand what it feels to be one of Andy's honorary toys before progressing into 2 larger dining rooms where Andy's rodeo takes place. Here, the rodeo will be in full swing with Western town and train station playsets mixing with surprising playful details and some fan favorite Pixar characters as they've never been seen before. I want to know what that means. All of that, what we just said. Like, what are they doing there? I mean, is it going to be like Whispering Canyon, but with Toy Story? Like, is that what we're talking here?
So the way that you described that, I started envisioning like the queue for Toy Story Midway Mania, like, because it's kind of similar. They've got all the toys kind of make up the queue area.
Yeah.
But then you start talking about the characters being shown different ways, and immediately all I could think of was like 90s Chuck E. Cheese. Like
in a bad way?
No, not in a good way. Like okay, when I was
feeling
a kid,
nostalgic for 90s Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Like I suddenly just envisioned like a Toy Story version of a Chuck E. Cheese type experience.
I think it's all marketing. I don't think it's going to be anything except some big characters, and that's it.
So you're just saying it's somebody writing marketing copy. There's nothing.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, they're saying guest experience. I mean, firsthand, what it feels like to be one of Andy's honorary toys. That feels like
that can mean they just have big play sets. Yeah, exactly. That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but if it is what you're describing, there would be more fanfare about it. It would be an experience, not a restaurant. I almost feel like. I don't know. I'm always about barbecue because barbecue is usually a safe thing because you can cover anything in barbecue sauce and it's all right. I feel like, right? Like, I feel like this could be a safe spot to eat, but we'll see.
Ice cream and barbecue sauce. So that's a thing for you.
I think that exists.
Ice cream and barbecue sauce is probably a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that exists. Yeah.
You can pretty much cover anything in barbecue sauce and it's pretty good.
This is good though too, because I feel like, first of all, Toy Story Land itself needs more places to eat, right? It really just has that Woody's Lunchbox. And then also Hollywood Studios in general needs more places to eat. Yeah,
it's
I think so.
Small, though. I think you're just cramming people in. Like, I feel like that's the problem with Toy Story Land. It's just this weird shape. It's almost worse than the Avatar, but maybe not. Like Pandora and Toy Story Land are the two worst developed in terms of walking in. And I don't know, Pandora may be just because of I don't know. I feel like they're both always busy. They're never not busy, and they're just a pain in the butt to walk around in.
You at least have the splitting paths in Pandora, whereas Toy Story Land is, it's a straight path, basically. Line. Yeah,
it's not that good. It's always busy, and when it's busy, it's like it's busy, right? Like you're right. Like even Pandora, when it's busy, you're like, all right, I'm going the other way. I don't have time for this. But Toy Story Land, it's busy. You're beat.
Yeah, and I mean, the good thing about this restaurant is it's that like right at the entrance to the land, like literally right at the entrance.
Is it the good thing or the worst thing?
Well, no, because it's broken. It's off to the side, right? So like you don't even really see. It's like in a show building backstage, basically. So like you see the front of it, but it's you know what I mean. It's like it's not part of that main big path, really. It's like a.
It means you can get in and out of there without actually having to deal with what you were just talking about, Damon.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Exactly. So, yeah. No, I mean, listen, I hope there's some sort of cool experience. It would be kind of cool if they did like a Whispering Canyon kind of thing with, a Toy Story theme to it. I think it would fit. I think you could do it pretty easily. I mean, but
I just think it would be a bigger deal if that's what they were doing. I agree with you. I think it would be great and work great, but I don't know. How much can you commit to this? I think we're going to be a design mode, sort of, big things in there, and that's it.
Yeah. And, I guess what I hope for is like the thing I dislike the most about Toy Story Land is that they've got a lot of really cool ideas in there that are poorly executed, in the sense, like you said, it's a lot of big stuff, but it just looks like just big fiberglass pieces. Like there's no movement to them. There's nothing, like once you've looked at it, it's like, oh yeah, that looks like a board game, or that, it doesn't give you a reason to go back and look at it again, because it's very static. I'm hoping, based on what they're describing here, with there being, play sets or something in there,
holograms.
Well, I'm hoping, kind of like how when we saw the preview for the PIMS laboratory in California Adventure, how like there's like stuff moving around and it's an interesting place to be in. I'm hoping for something like that to come of this, or even like I know it's not the best comparison, but like Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater has, at least you're coming in and even though you're still just sitting at a table and there's a big screen, but it's emulating a drive-in theater.
Yeah. I think we might see some videos here, right? Cause there is this rodeo taking place. Maybe we're going to see videos. Maybe
the old Woody's.
I don't think a show.
Something.
Yeah. I don't think a show, but again, in terms of an experience, but I could see like, yes, them showing old cartoons of that would be kind of cool. And that would be easy to do.
Yeah. Well,
that weird thing is like some fan favorite Pixar characters that they've never been seen before. What does that mean? It almost means like they're all going to have a cowboy hat on. We're going to see Wally with a cowboy.
We're going to see Wally just with a cowboy hat on in the Toy Story style. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's interesting because we've only seen one piece of concept art, right? And they trotted out the same piece of concept art again, right? So it's not like we've seen more stuff. But to your point, Trevor, it looks just like it looks exactly like the queue for Toy Story Midway Mania, right? So, although I guess it's not Toy Story Midway Mania anymore, it's Toy Story.
What if you could eat on the ride?
Like, wait, eat while you're going on the ride?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a lot of spinning. I don't think
I'd be all about that.
So you eat on the ride and they only serve you soup. And the secondary game is not to spill any of the soup.
And pie. It's soup and pie. That's it. That's all you get.
Scores based on how much you don't spill.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a feeling there would be a lot of downtime with that ride.
No, you can hose it down. It's all self-sealed.
Okay,
it's hosed down. Yeah,
it's hosed down.
They do use the word experience, though.
They do. That's what. See, I feel like there's something more to this. They're just waiting to tease it as it gets closer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the concept art looks very just. I'm in there, and there's animatronics. Like there might be animatronics in a TV screen, but which would be kind of cool, I guess. But I don't think we're gonna see once again one of a kind rodeo. I think they're just gonna talk. They're just gonna be characters on the walls that talk, and maybe some buckets pop up like the game. You know, I don't know.
Is it going to be
that's
like
where I was saying, like, I got that Chuck E. Cheese vibe from.
Yeah.
Right. But
yeah.
But I don't get me wrong. Like I, as a kid, I liked it. But the problem is now it's kind of, like, and actually to that point, I didn't even go to Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid, and maybe this was only in Canada, but we actually had Bullwinkles. So like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yes,
seriously, that's awesome.
That sounds way cooler.
It was because you actually had like the animatronics were all Rocky and Bullwinkle on stage. So
that's awesome.
But it was the same idea, and it was fond childhood memories.
Wait, did they have Natasha and the dude or no?
They were on the side. Okay. Boris and Natasha were they would, because there was like the little side thing where they were like the Muppets, the old guys. Like they were kind of heckling the show.
I'm just going.
This wasn't a fever dream, by the way. This actually happened.
That's really funny. I'm just going back though to the original announcement here, because they announced this April 30th, 2019. This restaurant's been in flight for 3 years now, which it doesn't feel like it was that long ago. But I mean, truthfully, the past 2 years have been kind of like a blur.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting point though is, in that same amount of time, Space 220 has finally come up, and it feels like Space 220 is far more complicated than this.
Yeah. Well, in the original announcement, they said once inside, you'll be surrounded by all of the rodeo festivities in action, as well as Western Town and train station play sets, and you might just spot some of your favorite Disney Pixar characters scattered throughout the restaurant in the form of toys and game pieces, including a toy version of Jessie riding the back of a Trixie pull toy, and unique versions of Bo Peep and her sheep. So who will appear to be performing in the rodeo together. I don't know. Same concept art though. Like this is the concept art is no different.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of walls that do stuff.
That sounds about right. Although now I'm also thinking too of what is it? Is it Texas Roadhouse? You ever go to Texas Roadhouse? I'm going to go with Damon because I don't know if the Texas Roadhouse. Is that where they do the line dancing sometimes? Where they all the waiters get together and they do like a line dance?
I don't remember it that much.
I think they do. Well, now I'm just imagining all the waiters having to do something like that here. Which is not a terrible idea. I think it could be kind of cool. But anyway, who knows what this is going to look like. But they did announce in this that they're also opening a store as well, but give very little details of this. So after enjoying a rollicking ride through Toy Story Mania, you'll soon be treated to a new experience that is filled to the brim with fun. So it's Jessie's Trading Post playset. So
wait, do you have to ride the ride to get in here?
That's a good question, because they already have like a gift shop in the exit.
Great if you had to score above a certain score to even get in.
You want to make like an exclusive gift shop? Is that?
Yeah, gamers only. No, you can't even get into the restaurant.
Serious gamers only.
Serious gamers only. Like if you can't throw those pies, no restaurant for you, man. Could you imagine if Disney did something like that? How cool it would be, and what the ridiculous feedback.
How mad people would be? Oh, yeah.
How mad. But what if you made this that you had a score like, I don't remember. That goes up to 1 million, right? That one as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what my average score is there. But yeah.
My average score is like 4 to 5, I feel like.
I'm trying to think.
Unless I'm having a really good day, and then maybe 5 to 6.
Yeah.
So, but let's just say you made it 700 and up.
Yeah, most people hit it like 300,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if you had 700 and up, but you can't eat in the restaurant?
No one would be eating in the restaurant.
Everyone would be looking up those guides like they do for Buzz Lightyear to max out your score.
You'd have to have some game. I'd be all about that. So what happens is you get off the ride, it gives you a special ticket, and then only with that ticket can you go into the restaurant. But that ticket, you can save it. It's not like just for that day. Like figure you got like a month.
It still bothers me that at the end of that ride that they don't do the long range scan on your Magic Band and put your name up next to your score. Like that still bothers me.
There might be fights then though.
I mean, okay, let there be fights then, right? Because then it always has to be when we get off and be like, oh, what was your score? Because you look at best in vehicle and it's like, okay, what was your score? What was your score? What was your, you know what I mean? Like I just want names. I want like a leaderboard on there. You know, why can't they do that?
Yeah. So that you can go chase down John in the park.
Yo, how'd you get 700,000?
Yeah.
Well, there was just somebody recorded a fight at the exit of Toy Story Mania, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, I guarantee that was over scores.
Is there? I just feel like I've seen so many videos of fights at Disney. I just don't like it, man. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
I don't like it either. Yeah, it's not. I don't understand it either.
Places, like, find somewhere else to vent your frustration, please.
I mean, I a little bit get it with the competitive stuff of the Toy Story, like how someone could get mad at somebody else, but like an actual fist fight over Toy Story just seems like a little much.
It's usually not that, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah,
like it's usually other stuff, which is crazy. But
yeah.
All right, what do we got? A whole bunch of boring stuff I don't care about. Oh man, the JAMMitors play with Kermit.
The JAMMitors, yeah.
Gonna make me click this link.
I watched it. It was good.
Yeah, I watched it too, although it's still ruined by new Kermit, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's not changing.
I know. It's unfortunate. I feel like he's getting a little bit better at it. Like, I feel like watching that video, he sounded a little better than the last time I heard Kermit.
Right.
But, you know, I don't know. But so I love the JAMMitors. You don't like the JAMMitors, Damon?
No, I definitely didn't need to see this.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Well, can we talk about the Rainbow
his voice
connection?
is terrible, isn't it, though?
Yeah, have you just heard? Is this the first time you're hearing new Kermit? Oh, it's so bad. Oh.
Why is he so bad?
Listen, this is what I've been saying for so long now. It's bothering me.
It's so bad, and there's so many people that could do it the old way.
I don't understand. Listen, I'm with you. I just like this has been bothering me forever. Every time I see it now, I'm just like, why did they hire this person? Like,
it's so. Here's the interesting question: when Kermit was on Amphibia, did he sound better? I feel like
I don't know. Was the old guy still doing it though?
I don't remember.
Depends on when that was recorded.
Yeah.
All right, watch Kermit make a cameo. So when is this? I'm going to look at this. So this is 2020.
I mean, that would be the new guy at that point because I think the old guy got fired. Oh gosh, I think it was like at least 2018, maybe.
So how did he do better? Like we're going down now. We're going down
the rabbit hole.
A rabbit hole because Kermit. You get to hear Kermit voice Crumpet the Frog. Okay, so
all right. So
who's the new dude?
The last voice he stopped in 2016. So he was 1990 to 2016. This guy's been the voice since 2017.
Okay, all right. So hold on, but who is it?
His name is Matt Vogel.
So he did Crumpet the Frog. So here's my question. Why does Crumpet the Frog sound better than Kermit the Frog? Go listen to you can easily Google Crumpet the Frog, and it's just the thing is that it's so much better.
Maybe post-production, they fixed it. You know, like they like, you know, like they maybe they just messed with it in post and made it sound more like Kermit's supposed to sound because.
So there's the link, man. Whoa, wait. Like, why does that sound so much better?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Maybe it wasn't this Matt guy doing it.
No, it's Matt because I looked him up on IMDb. He definitely did it, but it sounds way better.
Oh my god! Yeah, he does. He sounds like Kermit should sound. Yeah, but like that's
so what happened?
I don't know.
So it's the same guy. So obviously somebody made the decision to change the voice.
This guy is also too. He does a bunch of voices, man. He's Sweetums. He's Camilla the Chicken. He's also Big Bird. Yeah, he's Big Bird too, and the Count. Wow. He does a lot.
He sounds really good on Amphibia.
He does
in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I listen. Every time I hear him do it, I'm just like, does Kermit have a cold? Like, what's going on with Kermit? Like, because he sounds so nasally.
He can do the voice, obviously.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know. The rest of this stuff that you wrote in here is not exciting, though.
Well, I wanted to segue into the Rainbow Connection thing for the Festival of the Arts. I know you don't want to talk about it, Damon, but I wanted to point out like that, how they redid Figment, or actually like I'm just looking at the Instagram picture for that, and
Figment's hair is fire. They got like this big mane of hair now.
Yeah, that restyle that's something. Like that's I like.
Oh yeah,
that.
I didn't post that. I should have posted that one, but yeah, he looks awesome, right?
Maybe. I mean, that's not his hair. That's his horns. But they're very like, yeah, it looks like his hair.
Yeah.
It looks like he has hair, but yeah, his horns are wide.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're wider than they were.
Yeah, that's what it is. They just look like thicker, so it almost looks like hair. Yeah,
it does. It looks like the same like styling as the paintbrush.
Yeah, actually, if you back out of that and you go to just Zach Ridley's Instagram, his post before that post is of the Figment that they created for the
it looks like horns when you're closer.
Yeah,
but further away, it kind of looks like this mane of hair. It's kind of funny.
It does. I like that they did Rainbow Connection and they did a new show for it. First of all, I love the fact that they're doing special thing, like that this is that flexible that they can change up the light shows on this, and it's not just the same light show every night. Like that makes it fresh and new and something different every time they do it, which is really cool. Although I think it is, I know rainbows are a big part of Festival of the Arts, but like, I feel like if you're going to do Figment, like do like a Figment thing on there, like do a Figment song, right? Like do the One Little Spark, right? Like as much as I love Rainbow Connection, like I just feel like that's a missed opportunity. Maybe it's just my Figment.
You're assuming that there's not going to be more stuff coming. I mean, like you said, if they can change this out now more easily, I get the feeling we're going to see a lot more stuff happening with Spaceship Earth in the next year. That's my bet.
I agree.
And again, that leads into the talking about the 40th. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more change-ups on it.
This Lunar New Year food is ridiculous.
Now you're skipping ahead.
Well, to be fair, the Mickey Mouse, the main attraction merchandise,
it's a waste. Like, but this is all Disneyland food, so I don't care.
I mean, man, it's food though. Nonetheless, we can talk.
Yeah, but I don't care because I can't get it.
Well, some of it's Disneyland, some of it's Hong Kong Disneyland, some of it's Shanghai.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to talk about it because it's like just out of reach.
Are you saying you're looking at it and you're like, it looks really
I'm
good?
mad?
Is that
Oh yeah. I'm definitely mad. There's no doubt about that. A dusted beignet donut served with oolong creme and oh my goodness, an orange soy pudding. Like, what is that? What is orange soy pudding?
I have no idea.
It's like kind of like what you would get, like, you can get that orange soy sauce barbecue. Like, does it taste like General Chow's chicken? Like, is that what we're dealing with here? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah, this all looks really good, but I'm mad, so I can't talk about
it. There's a barbecue pork bao.
I'm going on mute and I'm done. I'm done. Because I'm mad.
See, and I put it on here just for him. All right. So, anything else about Spaceship Earth before we go back to the food piece?
No. I mean, I think we kind of touched on it that these kinds of little shows and stuff. I get the feeling you're going to see more of them. It's not necessarily going to be like an announced big thing like they do with the fireworks shows, but I mean, I think it'll be cool depending on the time of year you're there. You'll get a different experience.
Trevor, I really, honestly, I can't wait for you to see it in person. Whether it's, I mean, probably the next opportunity you'll have is the meetup, right? And we'll maybe go over to EPCOT for the night or something, or whatever. But it's
maybe after the meetup we can pop over to EPCOT or something like that. Yeah,
because dude, I mean, it is in person. I mean, you watching the video of it, and I know you don't like spoilers, so you probably don't watch the video of it. But
no, I haven't.
Yeah, seeing it in person is like, I said this before, it's like awe-inspiring, man. It's like I literally just stood there with my mouth open like a 5-year-old, just watching it, and just like, because it's, I mean, I think this is in general with Spaceship Earth, right? Like you see it in pictures, but it doesn't really do it justice until you're there because of how large it really is. And when you're standing in front of it, it's just, it's a lot more impactful than when you just see a picture of it or see it, see a video of it or whatever. But especially when you start seeing the show on it, it's it's unreal. It's so cool. And you could see it from anywhere in the park, by the way. But that being said, you can see the lights from anywhere in the park, but you can't, unless you're standing at the front of the park. Like, they only play the music at the front of the park.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that area anyway. I actually do like hanging out around Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, me too. It's the whole redo that they've done up there is really great.
Well, this was even pre-redo. Like, I don't know. There's just something about that area that, like, because the Interventions pavilions used to be there and all that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I agree.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. I like it. Yeah, so we'll have to get over there because I still want to see Harmonious. I still haven't actually seen Harmonious, so I would probably like to do that in that short little meetup trip that I'm doing. So
here's my dilemma, and honestly, I think I'll need to work this out with my family for sure. Is that, you know, we were supposed to go in February and see all this stuff, and now we're not going till November. But then I'm going to be there in May. And I'm going to be seeing a lot of this stuff without them, which, I mean, shouldn't matter, but it matters to me, I guess, probably.
Yeah, because you want to experience it with them. Yeah.
So
I get it.
I'm going to need to work through what all that looks like.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I get it. I get it. So. Yeah, and you know, to the point of the Mickey merchandise, like, I just saw it and I'm like, yeah, I'm not wearing any of that. So I do like the pin. Did you see the pin?
Yeah, I did. Like, it kind of, it reminds me of like that like 90s aesthetic. Yeah.
And actually I kind of like the ears too. The ears are kind of cool. But yeah,
it's just, it looks, I mean, you know, I get like they're doing the white with the purple contrast to it, but it just looks, like I said, it looks boring. It, like, there's
I'm not into it really. Yeah. I just like that one pin pretty much.
That and the fact that everything, like, even the plushie they have there, like, I would not buy that because it's so white that it's like it would look dirty. Like, just I feel like it would just attract dirt because it would just sit there.
Right. I think you're definitely right about that. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
I'd be afraid to touch it.
Yeah, me too, for sure. All right, you want to talk food? Let's talk food.
Let's go through the Lunar New Year stuff.
I just like talking about food even if I can't even eat it. Like, just like, I like looking at it.
Yeah.
It's making me hungry, but
but I think, you know, it's good for, like, you know, we're going to talk about this stuff, and again with the meetup, you know, I've been kind of thinking about this because we had talked previously about stuff that's coming for the Flower and Garden Festival, and I think you're right that we have to plan to maybe do a quick tour around EPCOT. But I think you and I are going to have to figure out, and you know, maybe if there's like a group of us, like, figure out what works and what doesn't. Because, you know, I'm not going to buy a ton of food and, you know, only eat like one or two bites of it. So
sure.
We're going to have to talk some more about it. But you know, I think looking through this stuff too, you know, we can kind of, it helps us figure out what'll work and what won't work for both of us.
Yeah. And, you know, I think we'll also just meet to, like, we'll have to figure out, I don't want to say a schedule, but I think we'll have, you know, it out there. So if listeners want to come and join us with whatever we're doing in the parks that day, like, I'm fine with that. Like, you know, we can walk around with a crew of listeners. Like, it doesn't have to just be the meetup. If you're going to be around, I mean, we're going to go to the parks. So, and I know we were joking about this, but this is something we are going to do. We are going to go to Magic Kingdom and we're all going to ride Space Mountain together. So if we want to do that, like, that's going to happen. Right. So
I think I'm proposing that'll be like, so we have the meetup on the Saturday. Yeah. It's going to be a, you know, first thing on Saturday morning, we all meet up and go over to Magic Kingdom first thing. And then, you know, do that so that we're not standing in line for 2+ hours.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do stuff like that. And again, we'll figure that stuff out as we get closer. So,
yeah.
But anyway, food talk. So you know what? I'm looking at the one picture, so the first picture that we're looking at here, the upper right-hand corner, some sort of meat on top of rice. And I don't see a description of that listed anywhere, but I want to eat that.
Well,
like, I don't know what
think
it
that's
is.
the spicy pork dan noodles is what it looks like.
Is it? Because it says pan-fried noodles, and that looks like rice to me.
With ground pork and a spicy chili blend sauce.
Yeah, but it looks like rice, though. It doesn't look like noodles.
Or sorry, on the right?
Yeah, the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, those are noodles. What are you talking about?
No. I'm sorry. It's the second picture.
Oh, second picture. Oh, okay.
Second picture.
Okay.
Yes. But that one looks good too, though. I'm into that one too. That one looks delicious as well.
So that would be the beef bulgogi short rib
with a green. Oh, on rice. Okay, there it is. All right, got it. That looks good, man. That looks good. And I don't eat beef, but that looks delicious.
Bulgogi is really good, though. Like I like it a lot.
That looks delish.
And yeah, like I said, going down to the next section. So prosperity bao and buns. I'm a sucker for bao in general. And this barbecue pork bao with red onions and jalapeno,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I bet that'll be really good.
I'm all about this Mickey Chinese hot dog bun thing, the brioche style Mickey shaped bun stuff with hot dog and finished with sesame seeds and scallions. That looks delicious, man.
Really?
That doesn't look good to you? I would eat that.
No,
Yeah, that looks good.
I mean, I like a pretzel, but just the hot dog shoved in there, I just.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. What are you talking about? Who doesn't love hot dogs? Hot dogs are delicious.
I mean, I like hot dogs. It's just I don't know. It doesn't feel like the two go together for me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it had like a good mustard with it, but yeah,
I don't know, man. Looks good to me.
I wouldn't do it.
Let me see. None of the drinks here. Like, we usually don't do drink stuff because it's like none of us are really drinkers that much. But there's some interesting looking drinks.
Very colorful drinks for this. New Year. Yeah.
Yeah, like the ones from the first set there, the ones that are like the oh gosh, what is this? Lotus flower glow cube ones that are like purple and red and like very bright. Like those are very cool. Yeah. Those are very cool. So let's see what else we got here. Oh man. Spicy 3-cup chicken served on a bed of jasmine rice. Okay. I mean, listen, I'm always good for some chicken on some rice.
Mm-hmm. I like this next one, the impossible lion head meatballs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plant-based pork meatballs? Wait, are you allowed to call something plant-based and also pork?
Yeah.
I guess that's what it's imitating, right? That's what it's imitating.
Yeah. Imitation pork. Okay. That's fair. I can see that.
Mickey purple sweet potato macaroon. Interesting. Sweet potato.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, is that sweet potato, in a lot of, Asian food, or at least what I've tried, sweet potato is usually treated like a dessert, even though like for us, we will have it as like a side. With, like
people do like sweet potato casseroles and stuff with I mean, you're right. Yeah. It's more like a side, but sometimes people do it as dessert. But yeah, that's an interesting one. Like, I've never thought of it in a macaroon. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
To me, but maybe it's delicious. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to criticize. I'm sure it's good. So let's see. Mango pineapple pie. I'm out on this only because I hate pineapple, but it's a cool little looking pie. again,
you know me and pineapple and mango, the two of them together. Honestly, I eat a lot of mango and pineapple together.
Yeah.
So this would. Yeah, I would probably just pick one of these up just because.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this is all stuff at Disneyland, by the way.
Exactly. Maybe I need to try and,
squeeze in a Disneyland trip.
If the international travel restrictions let up, it's far more feasible. Right now, it's just the testing and everything just is a pain in the butt, and I don't want to do it. Yeah. So
I get it. All right. Well, what about this California Adventure stuff here? We got there's some good looking stuff here, isn't there?
Hoisin pork sliders.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm also just looking at the beverages here. White hot chocolate. That sounds good. Blue white hot chocolate. Wait. Blue white chocolate topped with toasted marshmallow, whipped cream, and purple sugar. That is interesting sounding, but I want to eat. I want to have it. Like, give it to me. And these pork sliders look delicious too.
Yeah. You wouldn't
Marinated
do
pulled
the
pork on Hawaiian rolls with apple stock. What would you say?
You wouldn't do the green tea slush?
I don't really. The green tea stuff is not my thing. I'm not into green tea. No.
Oh. See, I'm
not a fan.
I guess I drink green tea every day. So
really?
I really, I mean, I like green tea. It's, obviously it's a staple in my house. So yeah, this, and the fact that it's almond milk too, again, for me, I'm always looking for those non-dairy options. So this looks, pretty interesting to me.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? I'm just trying to find the food items. Here's another bao. Yeah. Chinese barbecue pork with filled bun. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
A mango pineapple pie. Again, I'm out on this.
That was the one up above. I think they listed it twice for some reason.
Yeah, that's kind of odd that maybe it's available in two different places. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh, some good looking dishes over here at Paradise Garden Grill. There's some good stuff here. Korean style barbecue chicken. All right.
Yeah. I mean, easy. That to me that's like going to the food court at the mall.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Whoa, that one. There's a whole fried fish. I'm out on that. That creeps me out. Yeah,
I'm trying to figure. Okay, I guess they didn't show the banh mi on here because
no,
banh mi is like a sub, right?
Yeah,
but, yeah.
Oh man, but grilled pork belly sounds pretty good though.
Yeah,
grilled pork belly always sounds good. What were we gonna say?
Fried fish. Wow,
yeah, it doesn't sound appetizing to me. They have one of those at Tiffin's though. They do a whole fish like that. I mean, I guess if you're into that sort of thing, I mean,
Yeah, I have to wonder how many of these they would sell.
Of the whole fried fish? That's a really good question. I mean, listen, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are adventurous and will like these kinds of things and will do that. It's not me.
Well, here's the thing. It's served family style as well. It's meant for two people.
Okay, so you need to have two people that agree to that.
Yeah.
All right then.
And I mean, reading about honestly, it actually doesn't sound that bad. So it's a whole fish, which I know you're out on that. But then sweet and sour sauce, steamed rice, and vegetables and chicken soup. So like all around, it sounds good. Yeah. I get not wanting the fish, but yeah, I don't know.
At least it looks like the eyeballs aren't staring at you.
Yeah, nice of them to take those out.
It was nice of them to do that. Yeah. So you don't have to look at the eyeballs. Yeah. We got chicken wings. That's an easy one. And some Asian style street corn. I like a good street corn. That sounds pretty good. Ooh, what is this stuff? Oh my goodness.
Ooh, that's going to be spicy good too. The street corn's got gochujang on it.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at the Korean style barbecue nachos with pork belly, cheesy corn sauce, crema, radish, and spicy cucumbers. I want to eat that. Give me that. That looks amazing. Oh my gosh. No, you're not feeling that one? Oh man, there's a lot of pork belly going on here, and this makes me happy.
Again, the nachos are they can be hit and miss for me, right? Because sure. Cheese and all that doesn't go well. The funny thing is there's another bao on here. Like I could walk around and I could have like 4 baos.
Bao tour. Yeah, you can just do like a bao tour. Yeah, I like it.
And the oolong donut as well. That would David mentioned that earlier.
He did. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, you got a lantern whoopie pie. I'm a big whoopie pie fan. That's although this seems pretty straightforward though, where it's a vanilla buttercream and some sprinkles. I mean,
very red though.
Yeah, very red. Yeah, there'd be some interesting things happening. After that.
yeah. For anyone that I mean, Lunar New Year. Red is supposed to be a lucky color, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice that they're doing that. But yeah, these are all like lots of red dye in the whoopie pie, the pretzel sticks as well, which I do like the fact that they did tiger striped pretzel sticks. I think that's interesting, but
that's cool. Yeah,
it's still pretzel sticks. So
yeah, at the end of the day, it's still pretzel sticks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move over to Hong Kong Disneyland then. Let's take a look at some of the stuff they got here.
Things that none of us will ever have.
Well, right now anyway. They don't have really descriptions here. It's like
this exquisite cuisine is filled with mouth-watering ingredients.
Yeah, that's really not very descriptive. Yeah, there's not a lot of description going on here. I'm trying to even scroll down to, are any of these, do any of these have any descriptions in them? Okay, well, here's one. Sauteed sea, this is colorful New Year set lunch for 2. Sauteed sea cucumber, scallop and yellow fungus. What? With honey bean on a basket steamed bamboo. No, I'm out on all of this.
Well, I mean, but fungus means mushrooms, right?
I know, but I'm out on all of it still.
Okay.
No, all of it. No. Oh man, then there's the Chinese New Year combo stewed goose web. What is that? What is goose web?
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
All right. Interesting. All right. I'm Googling this now. Now I'm like Googling what this is. Dry oyster, black. What is black moss? This is some interesting. This is why I can't go anywhere else, because I feel like I would not be able to eat anything.
You know, honestly, though, like I know these things sound weird, but I feel that if you were there and you had them in the moment, you would probably find that they're not as weird as you think they are. Like it's. Fair. Yeah. Every time I've tried things in other countries, it's always turned out better than I expected, I guess.
Better than, yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Shanghai stuff though, the next section here, and there's some good stuff in here. So the family feast, Mickey shape, braised pork belly.
I will say, you know, the one thing that always gets me is when you see stuff coming out of, you know, Shanghai or Hong Kong or any of those, the way that they plate things always looks so much nicer than anything I see in the North American parks. Like they
do some cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. One of these dishes literally looks like a Mickey face. I don't know what it is in this feast, but you know, they're saying, you know, Mickey shaped pork. Like they're deliberately cutting and shaping everything so it looks like Mickey Mouse faces, which
they have those eggs too. They have those eggs that are like the inside of the yolk is Mickey shaped. Like I have no idea how they do that.
They do something with centrifugal force to cause that to happen.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally have hard-boiled eggs that have like the yolk inside is the shape of Mickey. And I've seen it on the internet before, and they have it in here. It's just kind of like off to the side, but like everything there is Mickey shaped. And they somehow figure out a way to make everything Mickey shaped. It's kind of amazing, actually.
So let me say this too. You know, again, talking about how they do things differently in Shanghai. There's a Donald Duck waffle. I want a Donald Duck waffle.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like I know we have the Mickey waffles, and you know we can all get the Mickey waffles, and they're good. But I want a Donald Duck waffle.
You know what? That's interesting though. Is it just like the Donald Duck is more popular in Shanghai? Like, because it's
I don't know. But why can't we have that? Like
I don't know. Because it's the year of the tiger. It's not like they're doing like, you know, a character specific to the year, right? But I don't know. It's just interesting that
I'm trying to think. No, there is no tiger or obvious tiger character in Disney. Or I guess Raja.
Jasmine. Yeah, Raja. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of his name. I was going to say Jasmine's tiger. I couldn't think. But that's, I mean, there's got to be another tiger. Yeah, but it's just weird that they're highlighting Donald stuff. Like, is Donald just really popular in Shanghai? I don't know. Okay.
I guess.
I mean, this is some cool Donald stuff, though. I'll say that. I'm with you, though. I want a Donald waffle. Give me a Donald waffle.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that or when we're, you know, next time I'm eating at a restaurant in Disney is, can you bring me a Donald waffle and see what the server does?
Yeah, I don't want a Mickey waffle. I want a Donald waffle.
Yeah.
They should have that. They should do that. Now I'm scrolling down though too, and they're showing from their Toy Story hotel, and I see that it looks like carrots cut into the shape of, it's this toy.
Yeah, it's a carrot cut into the shape of the toy from Toy Story. Yeah.
It's crazy. some of the stuff they do over there. I wish they did more of it here. But anyway, I remember when they used to have the butter. Were you ever around for that, where the butter was shaped like Mickey, and you would, like, when you go to a restaurant, they'd bring out the rolls and they bring out the butter, and the butter was literally like sculpted to Mickey.
I never saw that.
Yeah, like, let me see if I can find this. Yeah, because I remember this in the restaurants. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe I'm not remembering that. But
here, hold on, guys. Just wait a second. Everyone's talking about the Figment popcorn bucket. There is a Chip and Dale Spring Festival popcorn bucket in Shanghai.
What?
Yeah.
Where did you see that?
You didn't. We're outdoor vending carts towards the bottom of the list.
Oh man, here I found a picture. Hold on, I found a picture of what I'm talking about. Oh man. Okay, hold on.
The butter, not the popcorn.
Yeah, of the butter. Yeah, of the butter. Yeah, they're used, and I'm not talking like, just like a pad of butter, like sitting on like the I'm like talking about like a Mickey statue. Like it was like a Mickey statue, and you would like cut into it with your knife.
Let me see this. Oh wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I mean, it's been a long time, I feel like, but this is like some of the stuff they do in the Asian parks,
Yeah. Keep saying this. We need more of this stuff, but I think everyone's sleeping on this Chip and Dale popcorn bucket now. I'm going to hype this up because, everyone's all about Figment. And
wait, is this in this article, or is it just somewhere?
It's towards the bottom. So if you go, like, for the Shanghai Disney Resort, under outdoor vending carts.
But they don't have a picture of it in here.
No, they don't. Okay,
I got it. Yeah. Let's.
It'll probably be crazy. Like it'll be like a molded Chip and Dale something, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the fact that they particularly called out Chip and Dale,
Oh, okay. I found them. They're very cute. Did you find a picture of them anywhere?
Not yet.
Here, I got them. They're not what I expected, but they're cool nonetheless.
Yeah, it's two of them in a basket.
Yeah. It's cool. I like it. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I think we've talked about enough today. Let's wrap things up.
All right. Now I gotta get back to the rundown. Okay.
What, you don't remember? You don't know it by heart by now after 159 episodes?
Kind of, but if my train of thought gets derailed, then we're in trouble. So
yeah, that's no joke. I do, and everyone will laugh at this. I have a script that I go off of that I have been reading since the beginning, and I should know it by heart, but still to this day, I still read through it because I just, like you said, if your mind wanders for a sec, you might just like forget something,
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that I need the rundown, but it just helps.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay, to start wrapping it up, if you guys want to reach out to us, make sure you send us an email at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. That's the main place to find us. We get all kinds of emails. People ask questions through there. You can share trip reports, all kinds of stuff. Questions not even necessarily related to stuff we talked about on the show. We've had people ask us about our opinions on buying DVC contracts and stuff like that, which, it's a great way to get in touch with us if you guys have been listening to the show and you just want to chat. Also, if if you're on social media, Facebook is the another big place to get a hold of us. You can find us there as Welcome Home Podcast, and you can also join our Facebook group, the Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. And if you do join the group, there's lots of other great listeners in there that you'll get to know some of our listeners and see all the memes and stories and everything that people share. And make sure you guys check it out if you're looking for a fun, positive Disney group, because I know that there's not a ton of them out there right now. I mean, there is a couple of other good ones, but I'm very proud of our group. So make sure you guys come check it out. And also other places to find us on social media would be Welcome Home Podcast on YouTube and Welcome Home Pics on Instagram.
those are great places to follow us for when park trips happen, which, as we've been talking, we have the meetup coming. You'll be able to see some stuff posted from the meetup on those places. So make sure if you're not following those channels that you give us a follow, just to keep track of what we're doing. And after all that's said and done, if you'd like to get some merchandise, make sure you go over to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out the shirts, mugs, and other stuff we have available. And as we were talking about at the top of the episode, as we get, we're looking at doing some new shirt designs and some new stuff coming up. So make sure you guys keep that in mind so you can grab it off the store when we release those new shirt designs.
Yeah, like our haunted universe of energy.
Haunted Ellen's
energy adventure.
Yeah. So I now have some ideas in the back of my head on that one. So we'll stay tuned.
I think if we do the Jeopardy scene, I feel like the background still has to have like the prehistoric like scenes in it, right? Like we'll talk about it some more. I think I'll probably do some terrible MS Paint mock-up that Damon will take and make 100 times better. So we'll keep an eye out for that kind of stuff on the store going forward. But if you want to support the podcast, feel free to pick up some merch, because it all goes towards helping us do more stuff like the meetups and giveaways, stuff like that. Last but not least, again, if you want to further support us, go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod. If you like supporting us through Patreon, there is exclusive merchandise on Patreon there. So stuff that you can't get in the store is on Patreon. And it also gets you access to the Discord server, which, circling back on ways to get a hold of us, is yet another place where we talk regularly with our listeners. So if you're interested in that, consider subscribing on Patreon. Last but not least, if you guys are listening on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating. I'm not just saying that because, obviously, I think everyone likes 5-star ratings. I know Tom does in particular. Yes. But it helps more people find the podcast. We don't care so much about, what the overall rating is, but we would like this to get out to as many people as possible. So, if you're listening on those platforms, please consider leaving us 5 stars. Yes, please do. And also, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, just about any podcast app that's out there. You can find us. Just search for Disney, DVC, Welcome Home, all those terms. You should find us. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We're not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult the Disney cast member or DVC representative for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you to DVC Resale Market for sponsoring this episode, and to World of DVC for continuing to be our partners. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.